Hello, this is Ninjedi. Unfortunately, this episode has some technical difficulties. We had a guest on for this episode, and they offered to send me their audio, but I turned them down, saying that, it should be fine how we do it. And unfortunately, we had audio issues on the end. So, through my own hubris, I had to mess with the audio and edit it to make it better. So, the audio will be a little weird, and I apologize for that to our loyal listeners and our guest. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoy the episode.
3, 2, 1. So, where's Nefarious Reels from? Different places. Hello, welcome back to Nefarious Reels. I'm Cole.
And I'm Ninjedi, and today we have a special guest. State your name and occupation.
I'm Tom. I started the film club that these guys met at.
Yep.
Working children's services. I'm not sure why you have my occupation.
That's right.
But that's what I do.
It's all Thomas' fault as to why Nefarious Reels exists.
That's true.
Yep.
I've got two podcasts that I'm indirectly responsible for.
Yep, good job. You did it, Tom.
Yeah,
Way to go.
When we tricked our audience, we did end up getting Tom on here after all for the Showgirls and Swept Away discussion.
I mean, that's why I'm here, right?
Yeah.
Showgirls.
Exactly.
Yeah. You were like, Showgirls.
We just pulled an M. Night Shyamalan twist here.
Yeah.
I just said Showgirls, and you're like, I'm in.
Done.
Anyway, but yeah,
I'm aware.
we had a theme. It was Razzies. Showgirls won Razzies for worst film ever made in its year. Cole, tell us about. It was your recommendation. Tell us about Showgirls.
Yes, so for Showgirls, it is a 1995 film from Paul Verhoeven. And the movie basically follows Nomi, played by Elizabeth Berkley, who's probably mostly known for Saved by the Bell fame. And she decides to road trip to Vegas via, oh God, I can't think of the word.
Hitchhiking.
Hitchhiking, yes. She hitchhikes and wants to become a dancer there, basically. And wants to also not just be a stripper, but be a showgirl at one of those top dance shows at one of those exclusive Vegas hotels.
She wants to go. It's Showgirl time and Showgirl all over the place.
And antics ensue henceforth in Vegas. Thrill ride. What a picture. I'm guessing I'm the only one who likes it, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, Tom, you're the guest. What do you think of Showgirls, your favorite movie ever made?
I think it actually might be, not even hyperbolically. I just think it's massive. I know this is not kind of the point. You kind of do bad movies and talk shit about them.
I mean, it won a Razzie, so it can't be that good.
Well, I mean, come on. Morbius won for a couple awards a couple weeks ago, so...
Well, that's because of the woke agenda that the Razzies house nowadays. It's lost its luster.
The Razzies have always had some questionable picks, though. And I also
True.
I appreciate that Paul Verhoeven turned up to collect his Razzie for this one.
I mean, what other films were even nominated that year? Because, Showgirls... I'm not a fan of Showgirls, but, there's no way it was actually, the worst film nominated for that.
It's not even the worst film on this podcast today.
Yeah.
2 films.
No.
Arguably, it's one of the better ones that we've actually talked about.
Yeah, because you've got Reefer Madness and a bunch of David Duchovny movies.
We only
David
actually
Duchovny,
have one.
Southland Tales.
Only one.
Yeah, we only done one so far. I'm spacing them out. I don't want to do them constantly.
Oh yeah, I mean its reputation as being one of the worst movies of all time. I think now, even by detractors of the movie, people who still don't like it consider it to be unearned. I think there is a fundamental level of quality to the production, especially the production. Acting is still up for debate. Writing is still very much up for debate. But I think there is a sort of baseline level of fundamental filmmaking.
So I'm actually looking it up. Showgirls beat out films like It's Pat and Waterworld for the Razzie.
Oh, come on, man. Waterworld?
Yeah, Waterworld. Yeah, the one with Kevin Costner, yeah.
Somebody actually died and they were like, no, Showgirls.
Well,
Okay.
no, I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of the other films that were nominated this year, so I can't say for certain that they're better than Showgirls. But I'm just gonna guess that it's at least better than It's Pat.
I would
Well,
not doubt that, honestly.
yeah. Well, obviously, I'm a great lover of Showgirls, and fundamentally that's because I like things that are camp, and it's very much camp. I find it on par with Verhoeven's other work, and like on the satirical element. I mean, it's basically like it's a film about the American dream, right? Like somebody goes out to make their make their fortune, make a name for themselves, and it turns out a lot nastier than they had anticipated.
Uh,
It's like A Star Is Born, but like hornier.
I just kind of saw it not as an American Dream movie. I just kind of saw it as kind of like the new rising star coming in and trying to climb up the ladder, but the business is just like way dirtier, and they kind of just lose themselves in the process. Kind of story overall. That's what I got out of it, at least on the deeper level kind of thing.
In the deeper subtext of it.
The deeper subtext of Showgirl with its famous leg poster.
You take the piss, but I think there is a lot of subtext to Showgirls. Whether it's good subtext or not, that is up for debate. But I think it's Paul Verhoeven. He made RoboCop, a
Aye.
movie that people still are adamant isn't political. So I think misreadings of his work are.
I mean, are you sure though?
Am I sure that RoboCop is political?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've got a notion. That
You have a feeling.
Really?
Just a thought.
That's a big hunch to take.
Yeah, I've considered that. Who knows? Maybe not. Maybe it's just a movie about a radical guy shooting people.
I don't know. I've never seen RoboCop.
You never said, whoa.
Nope.
Hello.
I'm gonna see it in April.
Is this your first Verhoeven?
Yeah, Showgirls is my first. Showgirls popped my cherry, I guess you can say.
It popped your Paul Verhoeven cherry.
Mm-hmm. Or at least the first one in full I've seen. I know I've seen bits and pieces of Starship Troopers over the years.
Yeah. So I mean, he's always got a point. Is that he makes satirical movies like Starship Troopers is about the military-industrial complex and sort of like aggressive militarism in the U.S. and RoboCop is about American policing and sort of the surveillance state and stuff like that. And this one is, in my opinion, it's about the American dream. It's about the sleaze of it. It's about the lie of it all. So I feel like if you're going into this anticipating just sort of an audio-visual spectacle and just like a traditional kind of story, you're going to be disappointed because the acting is left field and the writing is nuts. Like I can appreciate how a lot of it reads as like garbage.
I guess.
I mean, it is, yeah, a bit, but
I mean, the main stuff I appreciate the most from the film is more like the production, the side, like all like the different visuals and clearly the choreography, all the dances. That's like pretty great. And like the production, you got like the glamorous like stage of like Vegas, and then you got like the scummy like kind of like back area of Vegas that like you don't like really pay attention to, like the rundown like apartments and stuff.
It's like that place you just don't want to go to, but then you're like, oh wait, that's probably where people are living.
It's pretty much the the part of Vegas that they don't show you when they're showing pictures of where you should go.
When they're showing
visit.
the ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was even thinking too, and rewatching it again, the just lighting and color too, like in the hotels and dance sequences, I thought was very kind of vibrant too.
Gorgeous.
Which I really enjoyed.
Analog visuals, yeah, especially the sort of the strip club scenes and everything. Now, I mean, it's beautiful to look at. Like in the stage designs, the set designs, and like obviously it's quite a lot of stuff to choreograph the big sequences and. A lot of them weren't. They're not just like, it's not like a Ginger Rogers movie or whatever where you just, watch it all happen. And there's like the stuff moving around in the background as well. Like you've got the scene where one of the girls like tosses some stuff down on the ground.
Yeah,
so
the beads.
like the beads, yeah. And obviously that was taking place within, quite a large sort of.
Unrelated note, I was kind of hoping that she would throw monkey shit on the floor. because they mentioned it earlier in the movie that there's monkey shit on the floor. It should have been like a Chekhov's gun situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch out for the monkey shit.
She just didn't have any in her pocket in that moment.
This is what separates the good from the bad films. And this is why it's a bad movie. There's no monkey shit seen on screen.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you have to say no visible because it's been implied, but you just don't see it.
The monkey shit would have represented just the terrible situation that is being a showgirl. And, like, her slipping on it would show the symbolization of, like, the falling and how easily your career can just topple just from any bullshit that happens.
She did slip. She did stumble.
Well, technically, the person carrying her stumbled.
No, I mean...
And then
Nomi,
what was it, like her knee, wasn't it?
Nomi slipped on the turds.
Yeah, like, metaphorically, but I want a more literal representation.
Yeah, and just like that T-shirt says, shit
did.
happens.
She slipped on the turd in the show.
No.
She was like, it was her first one, and she had a little slip.
Yeah, but I don't think she slipped on the turd. She didn't slip on the shit.
It was the turd.
No,
Okay, now it's a rewatch.
Okay, no, I know. I'll rewatch it when the 4K comes out because after we recommended this, Vinegar Syndrome announced at their halfway Black Friday sale that they're going to do a Showgirls 4K. So I pre-ordered that, so I guess I can finally see if she really does slip on the doodoo in 4K as it was meant to be seen.
I don't think you see the doodoo, but her friend off the side of the stage is like, "Oh shit," you know.
I think that was just more the reaction to her slipping than her slipping on the doo-doo.
I think it was actual doo-doo because this was right after they were talking about the monkeys getting out and getting on this. It was like her first.
Okay, clearly we're going to have to listen to like the commentary track about this. And hopefully Paulie Boy here will explain to us what really happened in that scene.
I can't wait till I can pull
Yes, please explain this, Paul.
Paul, we're calling you out. Explain to us if she slipped on the doo-doo or not in her first performance.
Fully did. I'm adamant.
I think she didn't. I think she was just normally slipped because she was new to the job.
I think it was a poo. But we will
agree to disagree until Paul proves me right. Cole, you're like you're sitting in the middle of this poo feud, this pood, if you will. Where do you swing on this?
Where do I swing? Can I be Switzerland?
No. Someone has to be right.
Be Switzerland.
Someone has to be right here. We're gonna decide right now. I'm not waiting for the freaking comedy track from Vinegar Syndrome to come my way to figure this
Vinegar
out.
Syndrome.
I need this decided right now, Cole.
Oh boy.
Poo in Showgirls.
Oh, he's even looking up right now.
Yeah, he's gonna lie. I can't see his screen. He can say anything.
Oh, he could. It could be obviously faked. We don't have any shared screens right now.
There's no definitive answers.
So it's left up to interpretation. That is what you're saying.
Fine, we'll leave it at that, Cole. If you're not gonna pick a side, you're not gonna pick my side of a co-host.
Showgirls, right? Funny dialogue. I think that was a key stepping point for a lot of people's issues with it. Was like
you feel like they were coming in for a more serious movie, but you feel like because it has those comedic lines, like it got in the way.
Well, they're not. I don't know how funny they're meant to be. I mean, I think we've got to remember this is a Dutch guy who made this movie. So there are lines in here that are funny that I'm not sure if they were meant to be, but it's not an overt comedy. I think people like their satire to tell you that it's satire to some degree, especially nowadays. Somebody makes something, they say it's satirical. It's like there has to be like a bit in their movie where they go, whoa, well,
they're like, yo, bro, is that like a movie reference? We're like in a movie,
exactly.
Dude.
Yeah, like Scream, but like worse. The first one got away with it, whatever. But I feel like Paul Verhoeven doesn't. Yeah, he writes satirical stories, and then never kind of lets the film in on it. It's just like inherently.
It's in its own world.
Yeah.
Like there's no wink at the camera. It's all kind of played for straight.
Yeah. It's played very earnestly, and I think maybe that's what people want.
No. Maybe that's my problem with the movie. Like I'm taking it too seriously because I used to have this at like a 5, and I've lowered it to a 4. I know Cole raised his up from like a 2 to like a 5, and then he changed it to a 4.
Okay. My guy. Improvements.
I don't know. I feel like because now I've seen because Showgirls is, I guess I can say, kind of like the first kind of movie about, like I said, with what I thought of it as like an industry thing, and like how the road to climbing to the top is way messier and how easy it is to topple over. And now I've seen other films that I think do it similarly, and also in a shorter runtime. Like Black Swan kind of has that to an extent. Valley of the Dolls, although Valley of the Dolls is only like a 6 out of 10 movie for me, but still.
Okay, so this is. I don't think this is a movie about somebody discovering that a system is more difficult than they thought it was going to be, or that it was not what it was designed for. I think that's the traditional one. So people go in open-minded, and then they get into a system that is meant to work, but there are people ruining it for them. I think that rise to the top, the climbing the ladder. But I think in Showgirls, the ladder is what's wrong, and it's working as intended, and everybody who's involved is working as intended. And the release of the movie is her like removing herself from it. So she goes in, she is sort of bright-eyed, or relatively bright-eyed. I know we hear about her history throughout the movie, and she sort of debauches herself and hurts other people to move up, and that cruelty is the point. There's a scene at the end with somebody else, a Crystal, who like tells her that, basically reiterates the point, that this is how it's meant to work. You have to hurt your way up, and I think the release of the movie is her sort of stepping off it, whereas in other movies it's
Okay, when you say release, do you mean like the climax or like the ending?
where she just leaves.
Okay, because you keep saying release, and I keep thinking like you mean like when they release the movie to like theaters, and it's throwing me off.
No. I'm talking exclusively about like the characters
Right.
and the narrative. I think the movie in a very un-American way says that this sucks, but it's working exactly as it's intended, and the only way to survive is to not do it. That's what I like about it. I like that it doesn't like these sort of like fundamental principles. And maybe I'm looking into this, this movie where I feel like there's more screen time with boob on it than there is no boob on it.
Boobs.
Loads of them, so many of them. But that's what I get from it.
That's fair. You know what didn't help this film in later years? Spider-Man 3 coming out.
But the Bully Maguire haircut on Carl McLachlan.
Yeah, I can't unsee it, which is unfair because technically Showgirls came first, but it's like too late.
Yeah, and I this time I never noticed it before, but this time I was like, wow.
So wait,
that guy.
You're saying Sam Raimi was inspired by Showgirls to create Bully Maguire and Spider-Man
I'm saying
3.
Sam Raimi stole from Showgirls to make Bully Maguire.
So Toby's
and then
now
when
just a
Paul
less cool
came to
Kyle
Sam to
MacLachlan.
complain, Sam Raimi went like, I fail to understand how that's my problem.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
He does. It's almost uncanny. It must have been. I feel like it may have been intentional to some degree. Sam Raimi's quite a cultured man. I'm sure he watched Showgirls and was like, "That looks like shit. Let's."
I need that.
He must have done.
I don't know. It made the movie funnier. Every time I see him, I just keep thinking like she's gonna dance and he's gonna do the Bully Maguire dance along like with her. Even though like I've already seen the movie, this was my second time watching it.
I winced when he did the little hair flick, because I was like, "This is that." Where he goes, and he just like gently sort of tosses it out of his eyes. Yeah, that was.
You don't want the
was a little
shots?
bit close to home.
Give you the staff job. Double the money.
Here's kind of a flaw, like a problem that I think I have with the movie. It's because it does focus mainly on Nomi, but it feels like it tosses a lot of like the side characters kind of get tossed and their plots get like forgotten about before they come back. Like the what was it, Raymond? I don't think it's Raymond. It's the guy, the bouncer guy.
James?
Yeah, James. He has a whole thing about how like I can teach you to dance, and then like it kind of gets just dropped, kind of all of a sudden. And then it's like, okay, that plot kind of ends because she cuts him off. And then it comes like back later when she goes to his like show thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wait, you were coming back to this after like another 30 minutes have passed with like nothing with them ever since?
So I feel like this discussion is going to be. I think this is a fair way to do Showgirls because we've got two people who don't think it's very good, and one person who thinks it's a goddamn masterpiece.
Well, I
So
argue
there's
it's
gonna
not a
be-
bad movie,
Okay.
but I don't think
very-
it's
not-
as
not
amazing
great.
as you do.
Yeah. So I think I think this discussion is going to be you guys saying I didn't like this about it, and then me saying
You're wrong and
Why?
you're dumb.
You're wrong. You're
Wrong, you're
nitpicky and
stupid.
biased. Nana, I win.
and me sort of explaining how I feel like that fits into the version of the movie that I've got in my mind that I think
Okay.
I think you have watched it in a sort of straighter fashion than I have, which is fine. That's how most people saw it, and that's why a lot of people didn't like it. But for the bouncer dancer guy, I saw him as her like opportunity to do something fulfilling with dance, which is something that she stated that she wanted to do. And obviously, like the whole Showgirls performance thing was like the kind of sellout version of her dream.
Okay.
And as soon as she declined, he wasn't relevant to the story anymore, fundamentally. So, and I think they only brought him back to show that the living for your art or whatever just doesn't work here anymore.
I mean, I guess, but I think the big problem is because when she gets the part and she goes to James to tell him, he's like with another girl that he's already getting on with, like another like dance part like already. So I think that kind of like undercuts kind of what you're might be kind of going for from what you got from it.
Yeah.
Like if it was like, oh, she told him and then later came by and then it was that, then I can kind of see what you're saying, but I don't know, it doesn't really work for me because at first they show out, she goes and it doesn't look like she's got it, and then they meet up and then do it, and then when she gets the call about like what in like in a day, like I don't remember how much time has passed between the scenes, but it feels like not even a day has passed when she gets the call about how, oh yeah, we want you in, and then she goes over to tell him, and then it's like he's already kind of moved on. It does feel more kind of like scummy than just like the art thing, and he says it so I was like, I'm not getting paid for this, so I might as well get some pussy in the end.
No, there was, and also there was an implied like romantic or like sort of tension or whatever between them. So that's the explicit version of the story. What I was saying was like it was like subtextually, I think is what like, and I see it as kind of like a moral tale to an extent, or like a Grimm's fairy tale, like a story with like a fundamental sort of like value to it, and that's what I mean when I'm talking about like vocation. Seeing it as vocation doesn't work anymore. That it doesn't play in this place. And that's what I mean by the subtext. And like in the film, it's because they were having a thing, and then she goes over because she wants to tell him about his new job, and then it turns out she's been fucking Penny or whatever.
Yeah. Penny or Hope.
If it goes
no
Hope,
one listen. No one wants to fuck
of
a Penny.
those.
Okay, they want to fuck a Hope.
What was your favorite line from the movie? Mine was from the large stripper lady,
Henrietta,
and she is performed very earnestly. As
she was the
Naomi
funniest character
says
in the
that
whole movie.
She was great. She says she's Naomi says she's leaving, and this Henrietta looks.
You're the one who can only like pop out my boob.
Yeah. She says, "God damn it, you're the only one who can get my tits popping right," and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful moment.
It brought a tear to your eye.
It did.
It brought a tear to your eye and then a tear to your balls.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have to address it at some point. There is a lot of nudity in this movie, a lot of titty, a lot of ass, and
No dick,
Facial
unfortunately.
no.
Paul
no
was a
dick,
fucking
but there
coward.
There's a couple frames of other stuff in there.
Of other stuff, but yeah.
Other,
grapes.
We don't want to get
Well,
too
one
graphic.
grape specifically.
There's like one frame, I think. When she beats up the guy at the end, the rapist
Yep.
guy. I think there's like another classic Paul Verhoeven no panty shot. Like the Basic Instinct one.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know. I haven't seen Basic Instinct.
That shot, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone is aware of that. Yeah. He does that. He does that.
He's that guy. He does that part.
He's that dude. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and obviously, I personally like Elizabeth. Is it Elizabeth Berkley?
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Berkley, yeah.
Yeah, I personally like her performance a lot. To me, it's like it's very strange. It is a bizarre. It's a deeply performance. I always say that, but I'd say it's like consistently bizarre. Like she's very quick to change her moods, but in a very consistent fashion. It's like avant-garde acting. It's like really left field acting to me.
Yeah,
but it never took me out of it.
Yeah, I don't find her very likable in the movie, but I guess the real argument is that's kind of the point. So I can't really. I'm not gonna praise it, but I'm not gonna knock it for it. I feel like because I'm not too sure if I'm intentionally not supposed to like her, or maybe I am. Because there's moments where I feel like I'm supposed to, I'm not, and there's movies where she's like really not likable at all. Right. And I get that, it can be both, but I feel like this story, I can't tell, because I feel like the story really wants me either to like her or not like her, and I can't really figure it out, and I don't think it conveys it very well.
I mean, only thing I will say about her likability is she's a better main character than the one in the next movie we're going to talk about later.
With Madonna.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
See, I think this is just a thing with Paul Verhoeven and the way that he makes movies reading better as an action movie, like Starship Troopers and like RoboCop, that people generally appreciate and think are good. And when you transpose like his sort of filmmaking ideology onto like a drama, or what's ostensibly meant to be a drama, people just like struggle to read it as well. Because I was thinking about this earlier. I don't think that Showgirls is a movie that is interested in interrogating whether or not you're meant to like Nomi or you're meant to agree with her. I think it basically doesn't care, and that's up for you, because I feel like a lot of movies have a say or like want you to like or dislike somebody, like the classic hero villain thing or whatever. Whereas I think he truly doesn't give a shit in this.
I guess
he's just like, this is what's happening.
Well, to me, that's more of it comes to a detriment to me. I don't know. Maybe if I watched that, what was that movie? You Don't Know Me. That documentary they made about it. Maybe if I watch that, it'll explain it to me.
Yeah, maybe. I think a lot of people go into Showgirls with the anticipation that it's going to be a garbage movie, and they watch it at a very fundamental level. But I think there is a lot more to it than it is usually given credit for. And I think when you go in with some ideas about what it's trying to say or what like he was trying to do, it becomes a much more enjoyable viewing experience. I see you've both got Blu-rays, so you maybe revisit it at some point.
Yeah,
like
like I said, this is my second time watching it. When I first went in to watch Showgirls, I knew it had mixed reception. I knew some people love it. I know some people hated it, and it's just fine. Clearly, I liked it less on my second watch, but that's probably more because I feel like I watched films that conveyed what I thought I was watching better, as I've already explained.
Yeah, it's if you do watch it again, maybe just like
watch it with you.
Listen to this again, and then be like, that's what he's saying. Because I mean, obviously, if you don't get what I get out of it, that's absolutely not. That's not a fault. That is you watching a movie and getting something out of it, and taking it as it comes. But I think there is more to the movie than people give it credit for, and I enjoy it more when I'm thinking about what it's like trying to say than I am like just watching it. Because I think if I was just watching it, I probably wouldn't like it that much either. Because I think it comes off quite Mel Gazy as well. I mean, because I don't think that Paul Verhoeven really cares that there's like tits out all the time. I feel like the way that it's shown in the movie is just like, these are showgirls, they have their tits out like 24/7, and that's just like how it is, But I think at quite a base level, I think if you're watching it, you'd be like, yeah, it's weird that they've all got their tits out,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think it's just about like reading it from a different angle, maybe. But this obviously is a movie that I absolutely love, and most slander comes from just people being like, oh, it's dumb,
just people being wrong,
and it's stupid, just people being wrong about it. you know.
Yeah, just that nitpicky and biased.
So I've got for Showgirls as being more clever than people think that it is, but I'm not gonna make anybody like it because I will admit that it's quite an unlikable movie. To be honest, it's so like wow, it's so like in your face. It's extra. It's really extra. I've seen people describe it as very difficult to watch, just because of like how 24/7 in your face it is.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's over 2 hours too. That probably
it
doesn't.
is over
In your
2
face for
hours,
2 hours is a lot to take.
yeah. It is, yeah. I'm guess. How do you? Do you enjoy the viewing experience, or would you find it difficult, and that's why you don't like it? Or
Mm,
do you,
I don't. Well, for like Showgirls, it wasn't the worst. It's not the worst 2 hour movie I've seen for Nefarious Reels. Because we watched a couple. I mean, I wasn't pulling my hair out, but there are times where I'm just like, oh my fucking god, I got like 40 minutes left of this movie. There are times when I check and go, oh my fucking god, just be done.
So maybe on the monotonous side for you.
It can be at times,
Yeah.
but then Beebs show up and I go, oh, this movie's good again.
Wait, no,
This
every problem I
movie's
had
really
is
so
gone now. It's
baby.
perfect. Yeah,
If
I would.
If you don't like boobs, I think you're gonna struggle with this one.
If you like Dick, you're gonna be thoroughly disappointed with this movie.
Go back to Magic Mike, stupid. This is the wrong movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say, well, on the second viewing, didn't really mind the 2 hour plus runtime, but there are definitely places that could have been like trimmed down, maybe with some like plot lines or two. But I honestly didn't mind it, and it's got like a real guilty pleasure vibe this time for me,
Actually, Cole,
where I can at least have fun with it.
I'm interested what you have to say, because I know you had this originally at a 2, and now it's up
Yeah.
to like a 4. And you haven't actually gotten to say too much, so I'm interested to hear about what changed between your first to second watch.
God. I'm trying to think of what else. Like, obviously, we mentioned like production and the lighting and all that, but kind of like the tone too, for the most part, felt very consistent. Like I didn't personally feel like it took itself way too seriously. It kind of felt like it knew what it was. It was a movie about the Las Vegas scene and showgirls dancing and, like we're saying, with their tits out and all that, like 24/7. And it's like, it's not going to be this. I guess you could say Tom says American Dream, where it's like person who's working hard to get where they are today, but it's like a different kind of viewpoint of how this one person wants to achieve that goal. Maybe it's a little weird to explain, I would say, mostly since it's not like the most coherent story or best nicely done, but it does have like a lot of entertaining vibes to it, and it might have been just mostly the dialogue though.
The dialogue, okay, there. Okay, one. To get into it, why did you dislike it so much the first time?
I think it was mostly the vibe of like, oh, this is like one of the worst movies ever made, and then it was like,
oh, you're
I
going
think the
in
2 hour
wrong.
runtime kind of, I think I went into it a little wrong, and that 2 hour runtime was like, oh, geez, it's that long for this kind of movie. And granted, I probably watched that about 3-4 years ago. I think it was like 4 years ago now.
Okay,
And now watching all these other movies, especially for this, I'm like, okay, there's a lot more to appreciate in this than something like Southland Tales.
yeah, it's very much watchable, which I think some of the stuff you've gone over definitely hasn't been.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It moves from A to B in a way that makes sense, and it looks fine. It looks good. It looks good, and the sets are well constructed, and there's a coherent plot. I don't think this is like a real trash classic in any of like the sort of really gritty and beautiful ways, I think. But yeah, I think a lot. Yeah, All right. So maybe you came into this one with a more sort of like
clear head,
like
open-minded.
Yeah, kind of more of a clear head, different mindset.
Pants down.
Pants down.
Yeah,
Tissue
no
box
pants
next
on.
spot nearby.
Lotion on one side.
Alcohol in hand.
I would have a really hard time jerking off to this movie. I think it's because it's too sad. it'd be a cry wank.
Unless you're into that thing, then I guess it works out. You're giving yourself a sad ending.
Yeah. Showgirls.
Yep, Showgirls. It has the leg poster, which is the
Great
Showgirls
poster.
poster is a 10 out of 10. I
It's a
love that
great
poster.
It's a great poster. It's class. You look at it and you're like, bam, Showgirls. It doesn't even need to say Showgirls on it. You're like, yep, that's one long ass leg.
Yeah, I go,
We are talking about
leg.
Showgirls right now. Yeah.
I'm so upset that like the US Blu-rays are just like a normal looking fucking cover and not leg like you have.
I know. I think mine might be the Dutch one, to be honest.
I think it's
have to
German.
check.
It has
Ooh.
the German bar thing on it.
Oh, they're like rating on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to.
What the
change
fuck with Germany and
audio
their
language.
big ass fucking rating just slapped right on the front?
Yeah.
It takes up it like it's annoying when the
'Cause they
UK does
need
it, but
to
at least it's
know
just
what it is.
the UK does it too, but theirs is like at least a small little circle.
Tiny little baby circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love Showgirls.
Yep.
I get it. I get it. It's not for everyone. It's for pimps only, and
Pimps don't cry.
Who commits suicide?
Yeah, pimps don't commit suicide.
What a movie.
Yep. What?
Doing the next one.
What a movie. Yeah, I guess so. Unless Cole, you got anything you want to add to it?
Probably not. I think we covered it pretty well.
Wait, no,
Yeah,
there is
definitely
like
not,
Oh no.
I guess there's
Did you forget something?
one thing I want to go over, kind of our big climactic moment of the movie near the end, where after get called out by your friend for pushing Crystal, who we didn't talk about at all. Crystal is just basically the top bill character, the top bill people love, big star. That's pretty much just a bitch to Naomi. Naomi, not Naomi.
Naomi.
Watts. Sorry, I watched a video about Naomi Watts where she talks about David Lynch, and she says when she imitates him that she goes Naomi, and that's been in my head for like the last week. But yeah, Naomi pushes her down the stair, and friends like, what you did was bad, and you are bad. And then they go to a party together, and then her friend gets raped by like this one celebrity she likes, which is the actual Chekhov's gun of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Curveball Chekhov's gun.
I still wished it was the doodoo, but whatever, I guess. Have Crystal slip on the doodoo, or have Nomi push Crystal into the doodoo and she slips and falls down the stairs. Come on. You show us the monkeys, but you don't show us the doodoo. Come on, Paul. Release the doodoo cut, Paul.
I think we saw doodoo. I gotta be honest, but we'll hear about this later.
When the 4K
We will
comes out,
have
we'll
to
learn
watch
the
this
truth.
in, like super low frame rate just to check it.
The truth will out, gentlemen.
The truth will come eventually.
What? Yeah, where were you going with that one?
Oh, right, yeah. So her friend gets like raped, and I'm just wondering. I guess it's. I don't know. I feel like that climax is really weird because that's kind of like the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah, that's why she gives up, man. That's why she goes for revenge. She doesn't want to participate anymore. She says, fuck! And then she kicks the guy a bunch of times in the face.
I mean, I guess it's true. I guess my problem is, like, everyone else is, like, in the film is, like, mixed. You got, your I guess, villainous or, like, mischievous to, like, mixed, good, bad, like, Nomi. And, like, it feels like the whole point of her friend character, because she's the one consistently, like, nice person, like, throughout the movie, maybe to a point where you can argue too nice compared to everyone else. And it does feel like that character is kind of just there, so that way at the end something bad can happen to her. So Nomi goes, "This is crossing the line for me. I'm getting my revenge and I'm getting out of here."
I think that's valid. I mean, she brought her into it and gave her the opportunity. It's the one thing that she was tied to when she was confronted about pushing her down the stairs. It was like the one thing that she didn't regret pushing her down the stairs, but she regretted her friend being annoyed about. I think that's what brought her back. That's what made her quit. Because I don't think if this character was there would have been any. I think Naomi would have just sort of carried on. I think there needed to be a moment where it was like, oh fuck.
Do you think the film would have been worse off if the film did end with just Nomi on top?
I think it would be a lot sadder, and that would be less fun for me because I like that she gets out. Because this is, I mean, it's a rags to riches story, and at the end she decides that she doesn't want riches. She completely steps out, and it's quite unique in that way, which is why I like it. I think if it was bleaker, it would be a very unrewarding watch, I think.
All right. Well, that's all I have left with Showgirls.
Yeah.
So like if that's it, then we get to move. Speaking of films that are borderline unwatchable that we've seen, it was
I was
my
dreading
chance to recommend, and I picked Swept Away from 2002, which is a remake by Guy Ritchie, Tom's favorite director of all time.
Yeah.
And it's technically a remake. The main reason why I just want to say right now, the main reason why I recommended Swept Away was because there was a remake that Luca had on her watch list, and I thought, oh, maybe I can get her to come in because we're gonna do Swept Away 2002, and that could be neat. But that didn't happen. Luca wants a very specific theme if she's gonna come on here. So yeah, instead we got Tom instead.
You palm Swept Away up on me, have you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew you were going to say yes the second we said Showgirls. It didn't matter what the second film was going to be at that point.
God.
But the film stars Madonna, and it's about this rich bitch who is like a total asshole on a boat with this other guy whose name is... I don't remember his name, but his nickname was Pepe, and that's all I could think of.
Giuseppe.
Well, everyone called him Pepe for most of the movie.
Well, she called him Pepe for a while.
PP,
Well,
yeah, we will be referring henceforth as PP.
Yeah, so Pepe.
Okay. Yeah, with how unbearable it was, yes, let's refer to him as Pepe.
Yeah, so Madonna basically is this huge bitch to Pepe while on vacation with her husband and their rich friends. And then at some point... she makes Pepe get on a raft to go to the caves, which results in them getting a comedy of errors to happen where they get stranded on a deserted island, and then things happen, and that's the movie. Tom, what'd you think of Swept Away?
It's frankly frightening to me how well it mirrored Triangle of Sadness.
That's
Like
the exact thought I
movie.
had.
It's the same movie, but infinitely worse. Like, you have the scene at the start where they're just hanging out and you can see how toxic and horrible they are together. And then you have the boat sequence, and then you have the island sequence. It's like, done. Other than that, horrible. Absolutely horrible. I think to me, the core issue is that they decided to take a movie, a transgressive, political, erotic movie from the 70s.
I thought it was from the 80s.
I think it's 74.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so.
An Italian 70s transgressive political erotic movie, and then remake it in 2002
as a romantic comedy.
As a
quote
romantic
unquote
comedy with Madonna and directed by Guy Ritchie. It's just like from the ground up a terrible idea. You can't do it. You can't do any of the themes justice. I haven't seen it and I don't need to. You can just listen to the concept of this remake and understand that it's fundamentally a fucked up idea. And yeah, it fails to be a movie. And it just doesn't work like at all. It's like none of the scenes seem to link to each other. I think the point of this movie if you just clipped a bit of it to show how it fundamentally doesn't work, it would be the scene where he chases her through like the sand to grape her, and you could be playing the Benny Hill theme during the chase sequence, and then he almost does but doesn't, because this movie is
it's a gotcha moment. It's like, haha, you thought that this was gonna happen, but it's not.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I guess, oh my God, I thought you were gonna grate me, but you didn't. Now I am in love with you.
Yeah, that
because it happens like almost instantly after that scene. Like that's like the changing point.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't even.
Her heart grew 3 sizes that's second.
A movie to do a scene like that. If you're gonna do a scene like that, you have to do it and like do it justice. It didn't give a shit. It just tried. It stopped it before it got too uncomfortable to do it in a movie, and then it was like, boom, and now we're playing some sultry piano music, and they're staring over the island, or they're looking at the sea like dramatically, like with this like dainty piano music, and like now they're in love.
And now we're also gonna have a Madonna music video in the middle.
Yeah.
At some point with PP.
Yeah. don't even sounded like. I have no idea, but it was, yeah, unwatchable. Absolutely, fundamentally not a movie.
I mean,
None of it works.
they make Madonna the most unlikable bitch humanly possible in like the boat hat to make you feel for PP. And then in the second half, they're like, okay, now let's undo all that and make PP the most unlikable fucking bitch on this whole fucking movie too. Why
Exactly.
not?
Who do you want us to root for in this movie? Because there is nobody. And
It's
you can have
no
bad
one.
people in a movie. You can have bad people in a movie, but the movie it does so well in the first act and a half, or first half of the movie, to make you hate her. That when it actually like wants you to feel sorry for her, it's like, no, you've done this too well. You've made the worst character of all time. Congratulations.
She bitches about how the gym is just a pedal bike. She doesn't want to do fucking
a jump
anything
rope.
with fucking anyone. She bitches about the fish.
Fish. Now that's fish. I'm gonna get it now.
I'm gonna be
Nobody's
the
like
official fish catcher.
I really want to see the original just to see how badly they fucked it up.
Yeah, I am super curious as well now.
Oh, they didn't give up on doing the commentary though, where they basically just ad-lib the fucking like Wikipedia article about like hey, capitalism can be bad. No, it can't be. You are wrong and dumb. And so later in the movie, PP can go and just, oh, well, capitalism is good, and if you don't do work, then you don't deserve my thing, because that's capitalism. Haha, got him.
It was like the least interesting type of political commentary in any movie ever, which is just like two people having a conversation about politics, and then like just like when a situation comes up later that's relevant, like the movie's just like, hey, remember when
we talked about this in the movie?
We talked about this. Let's talk about it again.
It's like, what the fuck?
It's the most shallow form of like, ooh, the rich capitalist and the poor not capitalist person, but now the roles are reversed, and now the rich capitalist has to experience things has to face consequences of her capitalist views for being rich, and it's just like, shut up, you're not being clever.
It's it's because they tried to adapt material that was I've heard almost entirely good things about it, and it obviously has more value than this, because this is nothing, it's of zero value, but like you don't have, you're not good enough at this to do these themes any justice whatsoever. I think it's the main problem. I think this duo over the podcast, the two who picked how to and how to not do subtext, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, I was thinking
this is barely subtext then. It's just like on the floor text.
And the whole thing comes out of nowhere too, because you're not going in expecting this. Because when you read like the description of the movie, here, let me read the back of the UK Blu-ray I have.
Ooh.
So here it is. Let me get to the actual fucking plot. So a rich, spoiled socialite and a handsome Italian fisherman, and he's like a 6 to a 7 out of 10. Let's be real here. He's
Maybe a
not
6.5.
that
Let's
handsome.
be that.
I'd say he's a solid 8.
Okay, find themselves stranded on a deserted island where matters of material wealth and class disparity are meaningless. And in their struggle to survive and coexist in their paradise found, they soon discover that their dramatic differences are solely the source of a fierce, passionate, and sometimes hilarious animal attraction.
Where?
Hilarious.
Where? Like, where? What's the funny?
The simulated grape.
Yeah, didn't you laugh? That was the funniest scene. Remember when she kicked him in the balls? Remember how funny that was?
Oh my god, yes. Did you like when they were fighting for the flare gun and then shot it in the raft?
Actually, I did find that quite funny.
Oh.
But I wanted them to both drown immediately.
That's what I was hoping for.
Then the rest of the movie is just everyone else on the boat.
No, it's just like an hour of floating in water. It's like art film. It's just
In a shocking twist, the film turns into a remake of La Ventura.
Maybe we should make an edit of that.
Just have the boat sink.
Yeah.
It could be like
Have
the
the boat sink.
Two bodies floating.
It's like the nostalgia credit, like 2-second movies. It's just them shooting the boat and then just ocean.
Yeah.
And then we play Ocean Man.
Ocean Man.
Ocean Man, won't you take me by the hand?
That's so weird you mentioned that because I just recently got like the SpongeBob SquarePants soundtrack on DVD, the movie.
Oh hell yeah! That
Yes.
movie fully rocks. By the way.
Yeah, the movie is really good. We should watch that instead.
Ugh. I mean, but this is the wrong podcast for this,
Yeah.
though.
We'll have one episode when we just to talk about good movies, and one of these SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Just completely twist the knife for one episode.
Nice, yeah. To twist, do it as a special. Do it as an anniversary to good movies.
We'll do it on episode 100. That'll be we'll reward ourselves by reaching episode 100 with good movies.
I feel like, well, this is just kind of your bag. You do this. You don't just do this for the podcast. You do it for your spare time.
Yeah.
What is it about trash that is so appealing to you?
I think the hope of watching bad movies is to find a level of enjoyment out of it. Like I don't want to go in a bad movie and be bored, which is what usually happens. I think the charm of watching a bad movie is to experience something you don't normally get to experience with like a good movie. Sometimes you laugh at the expense of the laziness. Sometimes you enjoy the weirdly hard attempts they have at making something, even though they clearly don't have any actual means to make it good, you know?
Yeah. So you're looking for the gems, and you're just hunting through the sort of boring trash to get to like the really juicy stuff.
Yeah, it's something along those lines.
Yeah. Okay, I see that. Yeah, because I mean, I watched my Step Brother's a Vampire because of you, and that's hilarious. That's a great movie.
I know, I had a great time. One of my favorites. I found that all on my own. I was so proud of myself.
You know, and you deserve credit for it because it's a riot, and I will be showing people that movie if we want a bad time.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, okay, I get that. I just feel like there's too much garbage. I feel like I would be bored if I.
That's the cost of watching these things. Because for every one good bad film you watch, you probably watched at least 10 other like bad ones at least.
Like bad ones.
Yeah. Or at least if you're trying to blindly find one, it's pretty easy just to look up good bad movies and finding them just like that.
True.
But that's not as fun, I feel like.
No, because you need to.
No, you gotta find those diamonds in the rough.
You gotta dive in as blindly as possible. But enough about why we watch bad movies. We gotta keep talking about the bad movie we watched. And I guess there is one more point where they try to rush the whole big romance. Will they get together at our final end when they get saved?
Oh my god, the ending.
Oh,
It's the
yes.
music. It's the music. It's so obtrusive. It's like please, I need you to feel emotions right now.
Please care about this part of the movie.
Yeah.
Please grab the tissues now. We need some tears coming out of the viewer's eyes.
Cue sad.
We need some
sad.
sniffling.
I'm sniffling and dabbing my eyes with a thing because it's fucking over. It's finally over. My suffering has ended.
Doing the plane sequence with a slow motion running, I was just like
The slow motion throwing the ring.
I'm gonna be honest. When he threw the ring, I thought it was gonna like hit like the rudder or like the propeller of the helicopter.
That's
It would
what I was
break
hoping
off
for.
and it would crash.
I was honestly hoping for that. That would have been a better ending.
That would have been hilarious.
Oh,
That would have redeemed
no,
this movie for me.
Or like it did damage but not enough, and they didn't realize, and then they started flying away, and then it crashed later on. And where was it? It was the original island, and now she's gotcha.
We can write this better.
I don't think that would be any better because then there would have been more movie.
Well, it'll be better than this.
Maybe, yeah.
It's so weird
No,
because
but ours
it's
is like 20 minutes. It just shows the ending and then that's it.
I guess in
Yeah,
a sense,
it's
I'm happy they didn't get together at the end because fuck them both.
Yeah,
I don't give a
absolutely.
shit.
Yeah.
Awful.
Be miserable.
They were
I
both
know.
horrible.
You don't deserve this.
It's like when one decided to not be an asshole, the other was like, okay, I'm going to be the asshole now.
The ending was great because now that guy who runs a pharmaceutical company stuck with her for like more time.
It's so, and what's really weird is because apparently like she like falls in love with them, but and I know she's unhappy in the movie, but there's never like a sense of like it's the husband's fault or the husband's doing anything wrong. Like oh the husband's like ignoring her or it wants nothing to do with her or cheating on her or something like that. I was waiting for something like that in the movie, like oh she's like upset because her husband doesn't love her or like I guess. She doesn't interact with her that much, but she's already bitchy to begin with, so I get the sense that he mentioned himself, oh, like, we're on vacation, let's just have a good time.
Just a loving husband, I think. Well, to an extent. But that's been done before. Been done with like a kind of awareness that the romance that's being explored is illicit in some capacity. Like the Adrian Lin film Unfaithful has that, where it's like this is a nice husband and she feels bad about what she's doing, or there's an Ernst Lubitsch movie from the 30s called Angel, which is like this. He's a very lovely husband, but he's just not like present as much. But there's always like an element of it, like, oh, like, well, they weren't there, and how does she feel about it? She's conflicted about it to some degree, or like, whatever. But in this, it's played very like straight, like, oh, they're actually meant to be together, and then the husband character, they're just like, fuck him, I've never seen that sort of like complete lack of appreciation for the fact that somebody's already in a relationship. They just don't care until the end,
Yeah.
And it doesn't want you to. It wants you to be like, oh, together. But it's like this guy's never done anything, and they've never earned this romance. There's no point in the movie where you're like, they're horrible for the whole thing. So yeah, very strange and a weird way to play that kind of thing.
Mm.
I think that's the problem with the romance. It's like they never give you a reason to give a shit about it.
I don't know. I think I said everything I want to about Swept Away. You guys got anything left you want to add? Cole, you there?
Right. He's died.
Oh no, Cole, we can't hear you.
You're on mute.
Cole, you're muted. Cole.
Yeah, I know. I'm back. I just had to release the bathroom bad.
Okay. Well,
No, I'm done with this movie.
Okay.
No, I'm done.
Okay, there we go. Should we bother? Should we bother even saying which film we think is better at this point? Like Tom was gonna pick Showgirls no matter what movie was the other one.
Yeah, no matter what, it was gonna be Showgirls.
Showgirls is gonna win unanimously.
Yeah, I don't think we say anything. It's just Showgirls.
Showgirls wins just by default. Like I'm never watching fucking Swept Away ever again. I'll watch the original. Just to spite fucking this movie. Madonna, you were in a bad movie and you should feel bad.
Guy Ritchie should not have had a career after this.
Anyway, Cole, lead us to the questions. Or do you think we have time for questions? Because I know we're short of time. Well, the questions aren't really...
I was about to say, like, what are the questions? I think we can do them quickly.
There's only 2 of them, and I don't think they're going to take us a long time to answer. There's no deep questions.
One very good thing about Swept Away, they used Fade Into You by Mazzy Star in this movie, and that was its great crime. And as a result, every topic would be fucking eviscerated. Misappropriation of classic tunes is criminal. Questions.
Let's go.
Hey, we got the question time. Ask us questions in the comments if you want them answered, because if not, then they don't get answered. We're starting our first one from Mattias. Simple. His question is Star Wars trilogy, the original, or the Spider-Man trilogy from Sam Raimi? Which one do you prefer? For me, it's going to be this original Star Wars trilogy, because that's a very grand, epic sci-fi tale that is connected, that is also a connected story. While the Spider-Man trilogy, while good, also I don't have nostalgia for Spider-Man, I should note. While good, has kind of its ups and downs. Also, I have more nostalgia for Star Wars than Spider-Man, so...
I'm gonna say Spider-Man because I think that Spider-Man 3 is a better movie.
You're picking Spider-Man trilogy because Bully Maguire reminds you of that character from Showgirls.
Yeah. That's true, actually.
It's actually just Kyle MacLachlan.
Cole, come on.
Oof. I mean, I've always loved the Star Wars trilogy, but I mean, the Raimi trilogy's always had its fun. I would say. I think I gotta go with Spider-Man for this one.
Wow, 2 guys that are wrong.
Mostly the memes. It's got better memes.
Yeah.
All right. I guess.
But
all right.
Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2, great.
Legendary.
Okay. So, question number 2 from Robert. Worst date story, related or unrelated to films? Like, what's a worst date you've ever had?
I don't have time to go into it, but I went on a date. We went to the cinema to see Fantastic Beasts, and about 20 minutes later, I shit myself.
Was it because of you watching the movie?
Because of Fantastic Beasts.
There was a lot of there was a lot of moving parts on this day. Okay, just know that I went to see the movie, and then a bit later, I shit myself.
Did you just like leave and never come back? Just left her in the movie theater?
No, it was after the film. It was we were walking, and then I shit myself a little bit when we were walking, and then you know what? You don't get to hear the end of the story. You haven't earned that. But just know that I shit myself, and then I never saw her again.
Okay. Cole, you got one?
I really don't have one. I've technically not really been on like dates, so like I've done like friend outings really, but there's nothing been like embarrassing, I would say.
I can fix that.
You're gonna make him shit his pants?
I was about to say, are you gonna make me like shit or piss my pants now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have a date story, but I have something I could. One time in high school, I had a girl that I had a crush on. And it was Valentine's Day, so I bought a little thing of flowers they were selling, and then I brought it to her and asked her out, and then she said, "Oh, no, I'm a lesbian, sorry." And then my whole day was ruined, pretty much.
Oh.
And I have never recovered since, really.
That, that it could have gone a lot worse. She was just like, "Hey, look, I don't like dudes."
Yeah, well, the big problem is she was technically like with my lab partner, so I had to see her pretty much like every day for the rest of the school year. So it was just awkward for the rest of the time. This wasn't a girl I have a crush passing fancy. This is a girl I like actively have to talk to for school. So, So there was actually long-term consequences to that.
Hey, you shot your shot, and I respect that.
Yeah, but I'm never going to get that $1 back from buying those flowers.
At least
that $1.
You did not shoot yourself.
I guess that's true. I did not shoot myself or the school, so, it worked out, I guess.
And you didn't shit yourself. That was what I remember, yeah.
Yep. So those were
no
two questions.
Or shitting.
No shooting, no shitting.
Yeah.
Just sadness.
Just sadness, yeah.
Endless depression.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the questions. Cole, wrap it up for us, baby.
All right. So now we're done with everything, discussion and questions. Now it's time for the recommendation picks. And since I just did the retro, Ninjedi, what is your retro pick for next episode?
Okay, so I thought long and hard for this one, and I think I have a really good retro pick for us. Is what I would say, but we're not doing a retro modern pick. We're doing a trilogy. We're doing a trilogy recommendation, baby, and I got a special trilogy in mind. Cole, do you want to make a guess of what it is?
Oh, boy. I'm trying to think of what you've been talking about now. Friedberg and Seltzer.
Nope, you're wrong. We're doing Evil Bong 2, King Bong, Evil Bong 3, The Wrath of Bong, and Evil Bong 420. Because 2 weeks from now, it's gonna be the next episode will be on April 19th. Except no, because I'm gonna delay it an extra day, so it can be on April 20th, baby. We're releasing Evil Bong trilogy on 420, baby. Let's fucking go.
I'm gonna get fucking mega spliffed and watch those as well, just for a laugh.
Nice.
Just to join in spirit.
Yep, nice. So if you don't want to get spoiled for Evil Bong 2, 3, and 4, you should watch those for the next episode. Because, you should have watched the first one by now already. That was one of our second episode. And hey, remember to like and subscribe and leave the questions and all that fun stuff. And have a good day and a happy Morbius.
Happy Morbius, happy Showgirls.
Happy Showgirls. Oh yeah, Tom, thanks for coming in. Anything you want to plug?
Thanks for having no, because I don't really do anything. Just kind of vibing. But thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag release the fart cut. Hashtag release the doo-doo cut.
Release the poo cut.
Release the doo-doo cut. Paul.
And Richard.
And Richard. We know you're the same person. Just fucking do it already. Anyway, goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Nice.
Bye-bye.
Bye.